Pelvic floor muscles up and in. Point over your shoulder and you're changing your mind. This is about core stability. So we're trying to, now all I want you to do is straighten one leg up, the feel of it, and you feel the sit bone and twist. Knee up. So it's like the start of your squeeze them together and then Hi everybody, welcome. My name's Joy. I am a fitness trainer, Pilates instructor, yoga teacher, you name it. Been teaching for over 30 years and I'm here to share this workout with you today, which is a chair core workout for women 50 plus with happiness affirmations. So I am a big believer in not only moving our bodies, but getting ourselves into that positive mindset as well. Today's workout, you're gonna need equipment. You will need to have a medicine ball, or you can use a dumbbell or to have choices with your weight that you can mimic a medicine ball by placing your hands together, and we'll be doing different body positions here just to challenge our core in different ways. The other thing that you're going to want to have is either a pillow, maybe a yoga block to press your knees into for a couple of the exercises as well. And just like everything, not all workouts are appropriate for everybody, so make sure that you talk to your doctor before starting this or any new exercise program. I do consider this more of a intermediate workout, so be very careful to listen to your body and make sure that you're using a weight that feels appropriate for you. This is about challenging ourselves a little bit more and increasing that weight a little bit more. And with that said, let's get going. First thing you're gonna do is scoot towards the edge of your chair. Grow tall and feel your sit bones down on the chair. Lengthen through the sides of the waist, roll the shoulders back and down, create length through your body, and pull your pelvic floor muscles up. Think stopping your pee. And focus in on that and feel your feet planted. And when I say pull the abs in, I want you to think 360, pulling everything in, and think about 30% out of 100. So not 100%, you don't want to be like contracting in. I want you tall and engaged. Slight pinch of the shoulder blades and think if there was a string attached to the top of your head, somebody pulling that string up. So you are tall. So this should feel active and it should feel like a little bit of work right now. So from here, you're going to say your first affirmation. You're going to take a nice deep breath in and feel the whole torso expand. Exhale out. Another deep breath in. Exhale out and say, I move with happiness, strength, and energy. I move with happiness, strength, and energy. Let's go ahead and do like a cat-cow to start with. So you're gonna round through the back, tuck the pelvis and drop your head as much as you can. And then you're gonna bring the arms behind you. You can grip the chair if you want. Open up and look up, open the heart. And then again, round forward and just go back and forth a few times at your own pace. Just warming up in through our core. Remember, our core is all the muscles between our hips and our shoulders. Really important to work our cores in different positions. Every single move initiates from your core. So important to work at least 2-3 times a week. I move with happiness, with strength and energy. All right, and then from here, what we're gonna do is alternate reaches up. So first start where you're just reaching to the midline of the body, up towards the ceiling, and go side to side. You wanna keep the hips rooted down, and then start to reach over a little bit further, but you wanna plant the opposite hip down as much as you can. Start conservative, but then you make it bigger and bigger. It's just warming up in through the internal obliques here into our lateral flexors. Whew. And again, can you still pull your abs in like 4 inches below the belly button? Can you still pull your pelvic floor muscles up and in a little bit? All right, let's do like 3 more here. 3 and 2 and last one. Next, you're gonna twist and you're gonna open, and then twist and open. So you really wanna think of the hips rooted so that we're working through our external obliques, the rotators of our core. And when you do this, are you like me and do you want to shrug your shoulders as you twist? Can you try to lock the shoulders in the socket as you do that? And so your rotation might be better than mine, and work within your capabilities for sure. Let's do a couple more like that. Last one. Still working with rotation. All you're gonna do is punch across your body, but it's controlled. Like if you were moving through mud, what would that look like? What would that feel like? See how slow and controlled it is. Just really focusing on the rib cage twisting and the rib cage twisting here. Just nice and strong. And then just keep trying to twist a little further and punch a little bit further away. But the ribs stay down. There's not a lot of flare out as you're doing that. The feet are planted, you're tall, and you're breathing, warming up that core. All right, and then from there, take a nice deep breath in, exhale out, whoo. All right, and now let's go right into our work section here. We're gonna start with halos. So grab your lighter weight, and if you have a medicine ball, grab it. Press your hands into it. Now you press your hands into it. Let's go through our checkpoints again. Our feet are planted, and you want to pull the pelvic floor muscles up and in. Your abs are in 4 inches below the belly button. There's length through the sides of the waist. The whole core is engaged, so think like your Spanx or whatever. You're thinking of everything contracted, even in through the sides here. Open chest, slight pinch of the shoulder blades. So like in Pilates, you're thinking you're zipping up the front of the body, the back of the body's pulling down. Just create length with your body. Press your hands into that weight. Shoulders kind of back and down. Now we'll just do the start of a halo, like you are going over your shoulder and you're changing your mind, you're coming back in. So you want to stay contracted and breathing. Now, if you have the shoulder flexibility, you are going to circle around your head. So you can circle around and then circle around the other way. And you want to fight your ribs from flaring, and you want to fight a lot of movement through the core. This is about core stability. So we're trying to stay as still as we can, working core endurance. And this helps to build better posture, helps with the foundation of your body for life and for daily activities. So again, if that feels like it's too much on the shoulder, then you're gonna go over the shoulder and down, over the shoulder and down. So decide which one is better for you today. All right, last one here. Each way, boom, and boom. I'm gonna put that down. I'm just gonna kind of lean forward to do that. Be careful as you're putting that weight down and picking it up. Grab your yoga block, your pillow, whatever you have. You're gonna place it between the knees. If you've got the yoga block, do the widest setting if you can. And then you're gonna grow tall. So think if there was a string attached to the top of your head, somebody pulling that string up. Now, all I want you to do is straighten one leg out and bend, and then straighten the other leg out and bend. Now, if you can straighten the leg all the way out, great. But if you notice, I'm trying, but I can't do it, and that's fine. So whatever you can do, I'm trying to reach my heel away from me. Now, as you do this motion, it may feel easy to you. You need to think about the pelvic floor the whole time. So think stopping your pee the whole time and breathing the whole time. So it's just straightening one leg out and bending, and then switching, straightening the leg out and bending. Now we're gonna take this away and we're gonna go into marches. So you're gonna float one knee up and down and then switch. Stay tall through the core, through the sides of the waist there. Look forward and breathe. And then you're gonna do a kick out and in, and think if you had that pillow or that block between the knees. You wanna keep everything as still and as stable as possible. I'm trying to stay tall and focused in on control. If you like the visual of moving through mud or molasses, something with substance, right? You can think of it that way as well. It's just about building that control. All right, and then from there, we're gonna go back into our weighted. We're gonna do shoulder to shoulder move here. So when we do this shoulder to shoulder move, you're gonna keep your body as still as you can. So maybe start lighter, but then when you feel like you can go heavier, you do it. Press your hands into the weight. You're tall, you're engaged, all the muscles. Slight pinch of the shoulder blades, and then you're gonna just move that weight from shoulder to shoulder. Now you start slow just to get the feel of it, and you feel the sit bones down, but then you start to pick up your pace. And as you pick up your pace, you're trying to fight your body from being sloppy and moving. You're keeping everything stable and strong. So I have my feet wide to start with. Then I'm gonna bring my legs in closer. So can I bring my knees together, ankles together, and not move a lot? Then I'm gonna straighten one leg out, I'm gonna look at it, and it's not gonna move. So keep it still as possible. And then I'm gonna switch legs. Woo. Breathing, breathing, staying tall, fighting movement here. And then back to center, and then release. All right, put that down. And we got rotation here. So rotation, grow tall. We're gonna twist. Pull one leg up like an inch off the floor, drop the leg down, switch, twist. Pull the knee up, drop, and twist. Knee up, down, and twist. Knee up, down, and twist. Fight yourself from shrugging the shoulders. You want to keep the shoulders down as much as you can here. And we're going to go into our next affirmation as well as we're doing this. Twist, left, and down. I welcome happiness with an open heart. I welcome happiness with an open heart. Woo. All right, and then from here, what I'm gonna do is come back to center, grab that weight again. I'm gonna go lighter first, we'll see how this goes, and then maybe go heavier. So you're gonna pretend like you're throwing the weight forward. So you're gonna start slow though, forward in, and then drop the weight to the hip. Okay, so forward in, drop to the hip, come up. Forward in, down and up. So the thing is you want to press those hands together still. And it's like when you're throwing that weight out, you're like, nope, change my mind, come back in. This is a more advanced move. So always start with a lighter weight and maybe even like a soccer ball or something. So there's not a lot of movement through the upper body. You don't want to be, chucking yourself back or forward. It's about just stabilizing as much as you can. And then that hip drop is just adding in that rotation with the weight, right? So boom, boom, rotation. Boom, boom, and down. So it's like the start of your chop and lift. All right. And then look at your knees. Are your knees moving? Try to keep the knees as still as you can. Hopefully mine were still, we'll see. Couple more here, make them good. Press those hands together. And one more time. Yeah, all right, put that down. Then you're gonna grab that yoga block. You can place it between the knees again. And then we're gonna do a side bend here. So you're going to go ahead and let's take the right arm here overhead. So just reaching towards the midline of the body. That left arm is just trying to reach down, and then you come back up to center. Let's stay on the same side. And so you want to press the knees together as much as you can. You're feeling a stretch through this opposite side here. Then what you want to do is you want to contract those muscles, and then you want to grow tall. All right, that's your motion. So think about that, contract, grow tall. And we'll do 4 more this way. And 3, and 2, 1, switching sides right now. Reach, and again. Press the knees together. Make it active, make it work for you. And 2 more, okay? 2 more right here. And 2, keep the hips planted. And 1. All right, there we go. And then release that down. As a bonus, we're gonna go through all the weighted moves again. If you wanna skip into the stretch right now, feel free. I have it time-stamped so that you can easily get there. All right, so what weight do you wanna use? Do you wanna go heavier? You choose the weight that you need today, okay? We're going back into our halos. Are you just going over the shoulder and back? Do that. Are you doing a circle around your head and keeping the ribs down? Press your hands into that weight and stay strong, and you breathe. And let's go 5. Here's 4. Here's 3. And 2. And 1. And then going shoulder, shoulder with the feet wide. Can you bring the legs together? Can you straighten one leg up and not move it? Look at it. That side's hard for me. Ooh, and then switch, same thing. And go for 4. Here's 3, 2, and 1. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and put the block between the knees just to focus more on stability. Since I'm gonna go with my heavier weight, we're gonna reach it up forward, change your mind, drop to the hip. And you start conservative, or maybe you're just kind of going to the top of the thigh, and then just keep trying to rotate more and more, and the sit bones planted the entire time. Breathe. Okay, I found myself kind of pushing back, and I'm gonna fight that. I'm thinking tall and length and breathing. All right, let's go for 4. Here's 3 and 2 and last one. Go ahead and put that down, everything down, and let's go through some quick stretching. You did it. You're gonna take the feet wide, and then what I like to do is just place the elbow on the thigh and then reach up and over. And you decide, is up just towards the midline of the body, or are you actually reaching over? Think about rooting that opposite hip down and breathing. Take a nice deep breath in, exhale. Switching sides, same thing, reaching up, 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 and over. And then again, rounding through the back. So I'm gonna just bring the legs forward a little bit, tuck the tailbone and come forward, and then just say your last affirmation to yourself as you're here. Happiness grows every time I choose gratitude. Happiness grows every time I choose gratitude. That, I feel, is your biggest mind shift when you're having a bad day, just focusing in on the gratitude, what you're grateful for. And then you're gonna open up the arms. So if you can interlace the fingers, do it, or just take the hands back on your chair. Grow tall and create as much length through your spine as you can. Take a deep breath in. Exhale. And then a little bit of a twist here. I'm gonna go ahead and place this block between the legs at my medium height. Squeeze them together and then twist. Think about lifting and lengthening and creating space through both sides of your waist. Center, other side. Sit bones down, grow tall. Going back to center, and then big shoulder circles. Here we go for 3, 2, 1. Placing the hands over your heart. Take a nice deep breath in. Exhale. Happiness grows every time I choose gratitude. I am so thankful for you guys coming today and joining me with this workout. If you have any questions, ask in the comments below. Remember to like and subscribe. And until next time, I hope you have a beautiful day. Thanks again. Bye-bye.